May the gods guide you in your quest to safety.